And my advice to them was to not hear the noise as much, to continue doing the job that we've entrusted them to do.
It was so fun. Oh my God, as a huge Disney fan, it was so exciting to finally get to go to D23. Yeah. I live on the East Coast, so I was never able to go, and also tickets sell out like.
The rice has to be body temperature, and if it takes too long to serve it, it's no longer body temperature.
Every so often, a single movie manages to ignite nearly every major conversation in Hollywood, from representation to the balance between honoring tradition and pushing boundaries. Disney's upcoming live-action remake of Snow White has unexpectedly become that lightning rod. The choice to cast Rachel Zegler as the iconic princess set off a whirlwind of debate, fan backlash, and speculation that now eclipses the film itself. Could this become Disney's most significant misstep in recent memory? Let's unravel how one actress and a series of public controversies turned a beloved classic into a cultural battleground. When Disney announced Rachel Zegler as the star of their Snow White remake, it was framed as a groundbreaking choice, a move toward inclusivity and modern storytelling. Initial reactions were a mix of cautious optimism and excitement. Some fans praised Disney's bold casting, while others expressed unease about deviating from the timeless charm of the 1937 original.
Best friend, and she's the one who sent me the casting notice and said, "Thank me when you're famous." It's the craziest thing ever that it came true in that weird way, and that's why I bring her everywhere, and she's the best ever. But yeah, I put myself on tape. It's the worst tape you've ever seen in your life. I have no idea.
Regardless of opinion, Zegler was undeniably the center of attention, and for a while, the buzz around her casting seemed to bode well for the project. However, the tide shifted quickly. While Zegler projected confidence at red carpet events, her social media presence began to spark concern. Her outspoken nature, which some viewed as youthful passion, drew criticism for its combative tone. The real test, many believed, would be her ability to embody the legacy of Disney's first animated princess. Little did anyone anticipate just how contentious that test would become. Even before filming gained full momentum, Zegler's online activity rattled parts of Disney's core audience. A particularly divisive post, where she urged those who disagreed with her political stance to unfollow her, struck a nerve. While Hollywood stars often voice political opinions, this comment felt jarring for a performer stepping into the role of a family-friendly icon. Disney has long been synonymous with nostalgia, escapism, and unity. Zegler's polarizing statement created an impression of division. Suddenly, critics and fans alike were scrutinizing her every move, waiting for the next controversy to erupt. Zegler's rise to prominence began with her acclaimed performance in West Side Story. While critics praised her talent, subtle signs emerged that fame might be a challenging adjustment. One notable incident occurred when Zegler publicly lamented not being invited to the 94th Academy Awards, despite her film's nominations. Instead of addressing the matter privately, she aired her frustrations online, sparking debates about entitlement.
What was it like seeing yourself for the first time in full Snow White drag?
I love that description. It's perfect.
Disney managed to secure her an invitation, but the incident left an impression that Zegler's public commentary could overshadow her work. Fast forward to her role in Snow White, and a pattern began to emerge. In interviews, Zegler made comments dismissing the original film as outdated, and admitted she'd only watched it once, finding it frightening as a child. For lifelong Disney fans, her remarks felt like a dismissal of the foundational story that had enchanted generations. Her critique of the romance at the heart of Snow White, coupled with statements emphasizing empowerment and independence, alienated some fans who cherished the innocence and charm of the original tale. The backlash grew, and the internet buzzed with accusations that the new film would stray too far from its roots. The controversies didn't stop with Zegler's comments. Early glimpses of the film revealed that the seven dwarfs had been replaced by a diverse group of magical creatures, sparking criticism from all sides. While Disney framed the decision as progressive, others, including actor Peter Dinklage, questioned its execution. Leaks from the set added to the confusion, with conflicting reports about whether the dwarfs would be CGI or entirely reimagined. The uproar snowballed, leaving Disney caught between modernizing the story and respecting its legacy. Amid these controversies, whispers of budget overruns, script rewrites, and internal discord began to surface. Zegler's outspoken persona became a lightning rod for criticism, with some accusing Disney of hypocrisy for backing her polarizing statements while holding other performers to different standards.
The one where he was in the boxing ring.
Boxing ring, and Howard Cosell, who was then a famous announcer for ABC Sports, introduced him. And I was asked at some point to get Mr. Sinatra Listerine. We're at Madison Square Garden. It's not like there's a Listerine store in Madison Square Garden. So I dutifully ran out, found a drugstore of some sort. This is before CVS. This is 45 years ago. Disney Plus only in 2019, so it's just over 4 years ago. In a very, very short period of time, we find ourselves second to Netflix in terms of global subscribers for a pure streaming business. We know that we ended up losing a lot of money on that, more so than we expected initially. Part of that was because we were chasing sub growth and not as focused as we needed to be on the bottom line.
Public sentiment grew increasingly skeptical, with many vowing to boycott the film. As the backlash mounted, Disney attempted damage control. Zegler issued a carefully worded video apology, insisting her comments had been misunderstood. However, many fans perceived the apology as insincere, a corporate effort to minimize harm rather than a genuine acknowledgement of missteps. Social media erupted with memes and parodies, further cementing the narrative that Zegler had become a liability for the project. The situation reached a boiling point when Disney announced a delay in the film's release, officially citing industry strikes but sparking speculation about deeper issues. With a rumored budget exceeding $200 million, the stakes for Snow White couldn't be higher.
She was like, Jacqueline, if they play Getaway Car or Maroon, she's on crisis watch. Not only did she play Getaway Car, she also played Maroon.
Is not designed right now to necessarily develop great leaders or to encourage more people to seek public office. It just is far more difficult. Now, I've never been in it, but from what I observe, it's far more difficult to run for office today than ever before.
Insiders whispered about frantic reshoots and attempts to salvage the project, but the damage to public perception seemed irreparable. Ultimately, what was meant to be a revival of a cherished fairy tale has become a cautionary tale about the risks of modernizing beloved classics.
That would be my preference as well.
Why your preference?
Well, look, I'm going to be 72 years old tomorrow. I've put in almost 50 years. There are other things in life that I'd like to do. I also am confident that the board will be able to identify
Rachel Zegler's casting initially represented hope and progress, but her actions and comments created divisions that overshadowed the film itself. As Disney grapples with the fallout, the future of its live-action remakes hangs in the balance. Will the studio learn from this experience and find a way to bridge nostalgia with innovation? Or has the magic mirror revealed a truth too harsh to ignore? Only time will tell if Disney can reclaim the enchantment that once seemed unshakable.